बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। तो आज हम खेलने जा रहे हैं ये स्पोर्ट्स क्रिकेट 7, जिसमें हम करेंगे पाकिस्तान वर्सेस इंडिया का मैच। तो ये देखिए गेम ओपन होगी। तो देखिए यहाँ से अब और हम टेस्ट मैच लगाएंगे। यहाँ पे पाकिस्तान सेलेक्ट कर लेंगे, इंडिया कोई बता और अगर आप गेम के याद रखें, और अगर आप किसी और गेम की डिमांड हो तो हम वो भी गेम खेल लेंगे। तो उसके बाद हम आप कमेंट में मुझे कोई गेम बता देगा कि आप उसका गेम प्ले करके दिखा देंगे। फिर आप खाने के बाद गलती से मैंने हो गया, चलो कोई बात नहीं। आपके बात
Good morning everyone, and thanks for joining us for the first day's play in this test series. I'm Mark Nicholas, Richie Bono is with me, and we're delighted to be here to bring you what does promise to be an excellent contest. Two good sides full of natural entertainers to hold our imagination in this vital first test match. Plenty of runs to be had here today. This is a perfectly good surface, but it will deteriorate. It's almost a sort of loose surface to it, and expect it to dust up and spin as the game goes on.
Oh, that could be a very painful blow. They've turned that into two. That's good running.
If you ask me, they've struggled for the duration of campaign. There have been flashes, yes, but in the main, it's been a disappointment.
There it goes. It's straight to a fielder. Done. There's just one there. All ends up by that one.
Good, he can't be straight balls, not at this level. That is as comprehensive an end as you'll see.
And the end of the over.
That was a good, tight, sensible over, given the state of the game. Good cricket, excellent cricket, such a tight line. You pressure the batsman into the mistake.
That has to be close. He didn't stray far from his crease, but that was all the keeper needed. Ahmed Omar waiting at the striker's end.
That is massive. Fancy that. Fancy getting the nick, but not seeing anybody there to catch it.
Oh, that's close. Very smartly stumped by the keeper.
Excellent wicket keeping. You know, he's only out, what, by an inch?
That was a mighty hit.
Don't even bother chasing that. That's away into the bleachers.
That's a big appeal. There's a sharp stumping by the wicket-keeper.
That was an excellent stumping. He made no mistake, just... the glimmer of an opportunity and slickly taken.
That must be close. Very smartly stumped by the keeper.
Oh, good stuff. He just had a split second to respond.
Shoaib Malik faced him.
Yeah, he does play that shot really well. And of course it brings him a lot of runs.
Oh, big shout for that one. That's a sharp stumping by the wicket-keeper.
Fleet of foot and swift of hand. That is brilliant work by an outstanding wicket-keeper.
There it goes, right out of the ground. Tried the arm ball there.
Over to last ball. 6.
Oh, another one of those, and this bowler will be out of the attack.
In the air and gone.
Oh, the batsman will be kicking himself. It was such a good shot. He looked in good touch, and it's an unbelievable bit of field.
Marvellous effort. Well held. It was in the air a long time.
Hello there, welcome back. What a contest we've got here today.
And the end of the over.
That was a great over. The best we've seen today. You know, if you give nothing away, you'll be amazed at the mistakes you can force.
Umpires signalling that as leg byes.
So much for the opening batsmen to do as they make their way to the...
14 runs की 12 और हम 50 ओवर देखिए हम फिल्म करेंगे तो है हमारा स्कोर है 136 हम 96 रन से
No need for him to play at those.
Bye.
4 wides to Pakistan.
Oh, that's wild. Never mind wide, it's wild. The keeper didn't have a prayer.
Confident appeal. Let's take a look at that in.
Oh.
That looked really nasty. I'll be surprised if we see him again in this innings.
Choka.
Yes, lovely stroke. What a beauty. And how would have he enjoyed that? Totally deceived him with that. He didn't all ends up. I mean, you don't see better than that.
Naeem, who's the next batsman in.
Oh, that went right through him. It's as if he misjudged the pace.
This was it.
Oh, he's unlucky there. That was a beauty.
Fielded by the man at long on. Faisal Atta has said no to another run. Tried the arm ball there.
Oh. Yes, Captain.
Hit straight to a fielder. I think he was easily back in the crease there.
So.
Yeah, great Yorker. And great batting to keep it out.
Oh!
That went straight through the gate.
This is how the innings ended for Faisal. That is an excellent catch. This would, I mean, no mark comes in it.
तो 50 ओवर हम सिमिलाइजेशन करेंगे बैट्समैन 4 आउट। जैसे ये देखिए 3 रन लिया है।
Umpires
ये देखिए 22 हो
signalling
गया।
that as leg byes.
ये देखिए अभी
What a catch!
आउट
What a catch! That was really well judged. It went a long way out. It's Shah is the new batsman.
यस सर।
Shah waiting at the strike straight up in the air.
ऑन बॉल और
Marvellous stuff. And there's a fielder under it. Shadab Kabir comes in at number 7.
बैट्समैन कोशिश करूंगा कि वाइड बॉल
No shot played to that one. 4 wides to Pakistan.
4 wides?
It
No, that's
didn't
terrible
ball.
bowling. I mean, I think he's got to come off.
Hopeful shout. The batsman was easily in.
आ गया था। रिप्ले देखते हैं इसका पूरा जैसे यहाँ से बोले ने बॉल फेंकी और ऐसे शॉट लगा और ऐसे यहाँ पे आई और ने यहाँ पे ड्रॉप किया और ये आउट नहीं हुआ था। एक और रन ले लिया आराम से। He's not out. Out is set.
He's always looking for that shot. It's such a strength in his game.
Not out.
And the end of the over.
The great thing is they're not under pressure with time, so they don't need to take any risks. They should really get themselves in before they start to play extravagant strikes.
95 स्कोर है और वो नॉट आउट और ये 99
A great stroke.
सरफराज अहमद 99
This guy can play. What a pleasure to watch him too.
किसी मार पाएंगे या नहीं बहुत सीरियस रन ही लिया बहुत ही सीरियस और देखते हैं कि सेंचुरी हो पाएगी और ये हो गई
The sweeper picks up.
सेंचुरी होगी सरफराज अहमद की
That's 100 for Ahmed Omar.
कैप्टन की 100 होगी
Ahmed Omar facing.
सरफराज अहमद Oh,
Well, I suppose they'll be hoping.
look at
Run to the troops. So right about now, Rasta, you teach I the truth. Yo, when we say love, when we say love, when we say love.
what? ये क्या हुआ?
That the lower order can muster rather more than they managed in the first innings.
ये
There should be some runs here.
दो रन टू रन्स तो सरफराज ने 103 रन किए हैं नॉट आउट
That must be close. He didn't
बटन
strafe
दबाता
half
भी
his
नहीं,
crease,
बटन
but that was all the
दबाता
keeper
भी
needed.
Got him. What an excellent stumping.
Shadeb Kabir is now facing. In the air and gone.
Straight down the fielder's throat. That's incredible. Straight down his throat. He didn't have to move an inch.
It's in the air. Marvellous effort. It was well held. It was in the air a long time. That's out.
That's an important catch. Oh boy, is that an important catch. And didn't he do well to cling on?
274 चाहिए इंडिया को चीज निकली तो देखते हैं क्या ये चीज करना है अब इस चीज को चीज नहीं करना.
Welcome back. The players and the umpires have made their way to the middle and are ready for the afternoon session of play. Also ready in the commentary box is Richie Banner. He found wickets hard to come by first time round. That to me was because he was unlucky. I think if he bowls the same way with some flight and guile and hinder spin, he'll do just fine.
Shah is going to try over the wicket.
That
was perfectly struck.
Yeah, he'll be pleased with that. It came pretty much out of the middle of the bat and all in all it looks in good touch.
Oi.
Well, they couldn't get an early strike in the first innings and it cost them. Let's see what happens now.
Muhammad Ali is going to try over the wicket.
They'll be expected to see an improvement from the openers because otherwise the middle order is so quickly exposed.
There's just one there. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch.
That's a lovely example of the cover drive. I think the key is the feet are in the right place, the hands have absolute control of the bat, and the follow-through, it's majestic.
He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough.
तो अगर कोई ऐसे कोई साउंड आ जाए तो आप
Mohammad Hafiz is going to try over the wicket. He'll be aiming for that rough stuff.
After a long old day, the players will put their feet up soon now. We're just coming to the end of play.
He'll be aiming for that rough patch. Just shoulders arms to that one. That's been given as a wide. He'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough.
तो आउट करने की कोशिश है
Mohammed will be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough.
हम वनडे गेम भी खेलेंगे और
You can't set fields for a shot like that. Brilliant!
He'll be trying to bowl into the rough.
Never mind the fielder, the bloke in row 10's got the best chance of catching that.
He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch.
तो छक्का प्लेयर हो जाए और ये इसके स्पिन
He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough.
There'll be bruises to show after this encounter, plenty of them.
Oh, that's close. That was a super piece of keeping by Ahmed Omar.
Oh, good stuff. He just had a split second to respond.
He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough stuff.
और ये हवा में छक्का
Effortless, brilliant, and maximum.
That's cleared the rope. 6 runs. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough.
तो देखिए बॉल और या नहीं हुआ और ये देखिए और
He'll be trying to bowl into the rough.
और ये पिच नॉट आउट
He'll be trying to bowl into the rough.
मैं ऑफ स्पिनर का इतना अच्छा
Hit
प्लेयर
straight
नहीं
to
हूँ
a fielder.
मैं लेग स्पिनर का फिर अच्छा प्लेयर हूँ
He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch.
बॉल पकड़ो
He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. They'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough.
Tried the arm ball there.
तो इसी को
He'll
स्टंपिंग हो
be
जाए
trying to bowl into the rough.
और स्टंपिंग नहीं वरना स्टंपिंग हो जानी थी
It's pretty tough for the bowlers on a pitch like this. There doesn't seem to be any margin for error.
They'll be aiming for that rough stuff. They'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough.
करूँगा मैं स्टंपिंग करूँगा और ये आउट नहीं था ये क्या अच्छा लगा आउट था ये तो बल्कि मुझे बताओ रेकमेंड में कि आउट है नॉट आउट मुझे तो आउट लग रहा है फिर से देखते हैं कि यहाँ पे लगा और ये लगा यार उधर काफी ग्लिचेस वगैरह हैं तो मसला ही है बस करना
You'll be
ये
aiming for that rough patch. You'll be trying to
Out
bowl
करना है
into the rough. You'll be trying to bowl into the rough.
और ये कोशिश है मेरी कि
You'll be
ये
aiming
मैच
for that
खत्म करना
rough
है
patch. You'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. You'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. Doesn't need to play it, those. That was the googly. Wide ball
Wide
signalled
ball
by the
नहीं थी
umpire. They'll be aiming for that rough stuff. They'll be aiming for that rough stuff.
रोको रोको रोको
Terrific cricket. It's such a key thing to place the ball well, and also, I guess, not to try to hit it too hard.
They'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough.
अरे पकड़ो पकड़ो
Shah is going to try over the wicket. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. Steered expertly into the gap.
They need him to lift his performance this time round. He just didn't pose a threat. Oh yes, and there it is. They've wrapped up the Test series with this result here today. They've worked hard for the victory too and deserve the accolades.
इस गेम प्ले का एंड करते हैं तो अल्लाह हाफिज तो और आप भी मुझे और भी वीडियोस कह सकते हैं अगर आप चाहें तो उस वीडियो का एंड करते हैं अल्लाह हाफिज